out, they said they don't get any exercise. Well, that's interesting because all they're doing is exercising. They don't get any exercise because they think exercise is what you do after work, as it is for many white-collar workers. Now, if exercise is good for your health, then these women who are exercising all day long should be healthier, one would think, than socioeconomically equivalent others. Turns out they are no healthier, in some ways less healthy. Because now we do the study where all we're going to do simply is teach half of them to see their work as exercise. So we explain to them making a bed is like working on this or that machine at the gym and so on. And we show them enough of this. They're persuaded their work is exercise. Now we've taken all of our measures. We come back later, and the first thing we want to find out is, have they changed their behavior? Are they working any harder? So we ask them, they're not working any harder. We ask the people who work with them, is she working any harder? We ask them, are they eating any differently? To their minds, they're not eating. There's no difference on any of these. The only difference is that now they see their work as exercise. Now we take the important measures, and what we find is because of this change in mindset, we get a significant change in weight, in waist to hip ratio, body mass index, and their blood pressure came down.
So, in fact, just changing their attitude about their lives changed their physical state. I mean, it's mind over matter, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Which means eventually we should be able to figure out how to control disease, and I think most diseases, through our psychology. We're not there yet, but it's a very hopeful start.
Well, we've heard earlier in this show about biomedical efforts to slow aging with, focus on everything from telomeres to stem cells. How do you see your work fitting into that kind of thing? I mean,
how do I see their work fitting into mine?
Well, yes, I guess that's the correct perspective here.
On some of these studies now, we will be assessing telomeres that clearly when there are changes on any level, there are changes on every level, so that when we get people to be able to improve cognitively, physically, to look younger and so on, there are corresponding physical changes. And it's nice to find those telomeres are just one of those measures.
You would like to apply your method here, if you can call it a method, if that's the correct term. It sounds like a whole new approach to defeating cancer, for example. How could mindfulness take on a cancerous cell? Do you think you need to know how that works, or are you just going to see if it does work?
Well, we're going to see if it does work first. The way we're going to do that is to test this mind-body entity theory, where we take women, put them back in time before they had the cancer, and see what happens. Going forward, we don't need to, all of these studies are designed to say, wait a second, we have enormous control over our health. The work on these mind-body entity theories and all of the research on placebos certainly speaks to the amount of control we do have.
I take it that you use this yourself.
Yes, all the time.
Ellen Langer, thank you so very, very much for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Ellen Langer is a professor of psychology at Harvard University. Well, it's really amazing, the potential for fighting disease through our psychology.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I have this mechanistic view of disease, and yet, you wouldn't argue the fact that maybe your kidneys can affect your heart or vice versa. Well, it looks like your brain can affect things too.
Throughout the show, what we've learned is that there are all these different approaches to combating aging. I was trying to think of a good euphemism. Do you have one?
Aging? No. It's just maturation. I mean, it's good.
Okay. Maturation is a good euphemism. But from understanding how proteins work and then stop working to isolating these genes that could protect us against disease to understanding the role of psychology, we can at least say that the science of aging is still young.
Yeah, and full of promise. The trouble is, we should have reached this point 100 years ago. I would have felt much better about it had we done so.
So you're wishing that the science of aging was old?
Yes, because then we might know how to really stop it.
Well, thanks to the mature yet youthful talents that help produce this show, Gary Niederhoff and Barbara Vance.
Also thanks to financial support from Rena Shulsky David and Sammy David,